everyone, it's Courtney, and I'd like you to sit down and buckle up because in this video I've got a massive prediction for the next animal that is going to take over markets in 2025. First, I think it's really important that we go ahead and discuss what it is that we need to look for in our market items. So, for example, if I'm somebody that's just starting out, maybe I come with this expectation that the biggest thing is going to sell at my market. And well, that can be advantageous to make really big plushies that are eye catchers and draw people to your booth. In my experience, what I've found sells really well are going to be these guys that I can make more quickly and can also price lower, because when I make my prices, I'm considering the time that went into making them as well as the cost of materials for each of the little buddies. So one of my best sellers this past season were pigs. I think honestly that this is because I had a market in like kind of a rural area, kind of like I drove through a lot of farmland to get there, to be honest with you. And I think I had a lot of people that had like a farm, maybe upbringing, heritage, or respect for that culture, come to my market and see my pigs and want to buy my pigs. So that was really nice. I only brought 4 with me, but of those 4, every single one sold. It's a free pig pattern. I'll put it up here and I'm going to link it down below. I made it with, I want to say Bernat blanket yarn. I did. I made it with Bernat baby blanket, and these are the ones that I made. That's my second point though in this video, is that when you think about what to make for your markets, don't just take Courtney's word for it, or don't necessarily listen to everything you hear on YouTube. You also have to consider your audience and who's going to be purchasing from you too. If I was going to do a market at a local high school, and if they had a mascot that was pretty easy to make, my tip to you is to make a lot of things. If you make like wearables, make wearables in their school colors. Or if you can, even make a mascot that maybe they can purchase, like a little plushy amigurumi guy. I do have a couple wearables that I've been putting out at my booth, but, and not to say that this is the case for every maker. For me, personally, plushies are what bring me the most customers. They attract the most people, I'd say. Maybe they attract the most people to my booth. I have most of my sales are plushies. Again, not to say that you can't make sales with wearables or anything else. You know, perhaps I'm just better at marketing the amigurumi, and it is more fun for me to make as well, which brings me to my third item when we're considering what to make for our market. And again, there's like caveats to all of this. So don't take everything I say as law, okay? You could go a different route, but for me, I found that the way that I'm able to keep making plushies for markets and not burn out is to make what I enjoy making. And I think personally, that's a big one, because if I just had to sit there and make a bunch of things that I felt like my customers would enjoy, but I didn't really want to make, I feel like I'd burn out. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I know there's probably some of you who are not beginners to markets, and you've stayed with me through this whole first part of this video, and you are ready to hear my big reveal for my prediction of the animal that is going to go so viral in 2025. I think that based off of what's happened in 2024, I think we're gonna have designers rising up that like primarily specialize in this type of animal. Are you ready for it? Snakes and reptiles. Snakes and reptiles. You know what? You can quote me on as saying that, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I will stand by this prediction. Go ahead and take me at my word. I fully believe that snakes and reptiles are going to be the hip thing this year. And would you like to know why I believe that? And The reason why is because this year has been massive for dragons, okay? And going back to my third point, I made one dragon. I sold it before the start of my first market. The market wasn't even open yet, and I already sold my first dragon. However, that was the only dragon I made this year because I decided that personally dragons weren't really what I wanted to make. So why force myself to continue to make these? However, if I would have done that, might it have been lucrative? Perhaps, okay? So my advice is that if you are a snake amigurumi, a reptile amigurumi person, now is the time to start writing those patterns if you are hoping to make some pattern sales in 2025, okay? And market peeps, as far as patterns that are already written, I've got a few here for you. Let's go. The first pattern that I want to show you is actually a free pattern. Now, this pattern is by Hook Crochet Co. It's available on Instagram, and I will have it linked down below. It's this cute little baby garden snake. The second pattern I have here is from Croutons Crochet, and it is her pretzel snake. I wanted to include this one to show you that I don't think this trend is going to be limited to the traditional representations of these animals. I think that just as we've seen a lot of really creative, whimsical dragons this year, I think that there will be a desire on the market for something kind of silly as well regarding the snake. If you're someone who enjoys making things that are a little more whimsical and a little less ordinary, I think that this snake by Croutons Creations might just be your perfect match. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this one, guys. Do you have any experiences related to this trend in 2024 or even, back in previous years, maybe going back to 2022? Let me know in the comments below because I would so love to hear. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe so that I can keep hanging out with you and we can see each other more in the future. For now, that's all I've got for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!